guys, today we're playing a game called What Remains of Edith Finch. Let's... Oh.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house. Someone had put up a chain link fence, but it looked like I wasn't the first person to hop it. My brother Milton disappeared when I was 4. It was like the house just swallowed him up.
If you have information about Milton, call the Orcas Island Police Department. Milton Finch. Date missing, October 23rd, 2003. Date of birth, 5/19/1992. I can't. Last seen, Orcas Island, Washington. Age of disappearance, 11. Height, 4'6". Does that say weight? 59 pounds. He was light, and he was only 11. And he was 11, he was only 4'6". Well, that's not that small. And 57 or 57 pounds is small. Eyes blue, hair black.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
Wonder why? Just look at the house in the distance.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
I wonder how much money those cost. Ooh, I found a way to zoom in.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
No trespassing. This property is protected by video surveillance. Trespassers will be prosecuted.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know, or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
I hope this isn't. There's 2 paths, so. And then there's another. They can't walk. There's so many missing papers right there. If anyone even watches this, tell me in the comments if you want it more edited than most of my videos or less edited. There'll still be edits here and there.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
like to be able to run.
The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent. As if they're about to say something, but never do.
Basketball. Yeet. There's a car. That's nice.
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
There's a tree and growing inside of it, the exact way she's been remembering it.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house. I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't.
This game's
Looking in,
mechanics are
I felt
really
like the house
weird.
itself had been waiting for me.
These game mechanics are like let me go to this, please. Thank you. Some stuff. Some more stuff. Even more stuff. Okay, buddy.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
And how old are... Oh yeah, she said 17.
The power had been turned off the night we left.
I wonder why
For the first time in years, I felt like I was home.
Oh yeah, I wonder why you felt like you were home. Dang.
But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
Didn't even clean up.
Like how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot.
Flowers of India, tasting Thailand, flour, salt, water, yeast, Fanny Farmer Jr. book, the Book of the Mushroom, the Smoke in the Forest, a pie for pipers, Cosmic Cuisine, the pleasures of Japan cooking, White Rooster. I'm not gonna read that because that's boring. In the loving memory of Louis Finch. Delicious.
Or how after Louis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly. Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth. Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit. Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
By the way, this is for free on PlayStation Plus. On PlayStation.
Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
The original house? How did it sink? They own too many cookbooks. The Book of Sand. Swedish folktales. I wouldn't read that one.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left. My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
Still noodles there. Looks like worms. Looks like worms and maggots. It's probably what it is, instead of noodles and rice. She said 7 whole years. Dang. Upstairs, actually. Nope.
Edie told me once that every finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
Okay. That's weird.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Peoples. 7, Hofson, Finch, and Edie. Oh.
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
Calvin?
My Grandpa Sam spent 7
11.
years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
It's sad. I could see one's about space and one's about the army. Gregory. It's Gregory's room.
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
Gregory's room looks like a bathroom.
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
What is wrong with these people, man?
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up. Louis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him. Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me. But I had no idea what was behind that door.
But Milton was...
Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
missing.
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage. Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
Looks like Molly had the life.
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat. The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it. I kept eating and eating.
Not even drinking
I
water.
ate a lot of things that night. Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest.
Oh, let's eat it.
I reached out for her.
Oh, I wasn't serious.
And suddenly,
what the?
I was a cat.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared. Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
It's Mom and Dad. Dad looks like he's a really old grandpa. Catch this bird.
I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired.
Why not just
Now I was up in the big
completely
tree.
fly away?
I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up,
Oh, yum.
and suddenly I
You
was an
died.
owl.
Oh,
First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
look at my shadow. It looks like I'm riding an owl.
Rabbits.
I'm just gonna go back. Wonder what happens if I just go back. Rabbits. Rabbits. No, man, I'm not gonna eat no rabbits. Where's the house at? Rabbits.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit.
Ooh.
Then I flew off to find something bigger.
Bigger rabbits.
A mama rabbit.
Wow.
big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
Come on. Jump.
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
What were those people thinking when they saw me? Just a shark rolling up.
I wanted fat, juicy seals.
Fat, juicy.
Her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Delicious. Seal's one of my favorite animals, so that's kind of annoying to kill one in a video. Oh no, what's happening? I'm going to go out of water. I can't. Tore off her flipper. I tore off her flipper. It's like there's both flippers right there.
I grabbed on tight. When I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
Disgusting.
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere. I was big, but I moved real quiet.
Scary. Can we just talk about this music on how awesome it is? If I get copyright strike for the music in the background.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
We shall eat the pumpkins. What happens if I just alert these guys by bringing the store down?
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And to cross the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe. I got closer and closer.
It's the gerbil, isn't it? it's her that's really bad.
All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
That's sad, kind of knowing that you're going to die.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have. I can't describe it, but I felt like some part of Molly was still here. This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room.
Zerpy. Perpy.
Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea.
So close to.
Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house. Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways. Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother. The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
Didn't this say Gregory's room, though?
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book. Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Sven? Milton? And why does does it show a swing being broken? I think this has something to do with this death because the last picture was a person with a cat.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin, and that he never talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
Well, here we are on a swing. Let's swing high. It's probably gonna break. Watch it.
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did.
What's that glowy stuff out in the water?
At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't.
I'm not going any higher. Yeah, swing isn't going higher. Hey, there's a person right there. Right on the right. It looks like a gnome. I'm about to rage. Why? Like, seriously. This is about to be a big jump cut. Guys, I figured it out.
I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
There he goes.
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that.
Calvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up. Then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it.
Ouch.
I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother. The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
He had a broken foot.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing. After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
Okay, guys, I think that's all for today. If you want more of this game, then like this video and stuff like that, and make sure to subscribe if you want to. And yeah, peace.